The Kite Runner is the first novel of the Afghan writer Khaled Hosseini and was published for the first time in 2003. The story, which is set in America, Pakistan, and Afghanistan, tells about two young boys, Amir and Hassan. It's the 1975, the beginning of the instauration of totalitarian regime in Afghanistan who will bring to those extremist beliefs that every one of us know. Hassan and his father Ali work as servants in Amir's house in Kabul. The two boys grow up and live together, becoming close friends very soon. They have a common aim. They want to win the traditional kite fighting, which takes place every year to celebrate the end of winter and the beginning of spring. The game consists in cutting with his own kite those of the other players and then collect them. Finally, after having tried different times, the boys succeed. Amir cuts the last kite and Hassan goes to recover it, but unfortunately he meets three bullies who in the past he discouraged from bothering Amir, threatening them. So the three boys take the opportunity to revenge, beating and sodomizing Hassan and leaving him in an alley. Amir sees what is happening, but is too frightened to intervene, because he's afraid to lose the esteem he obtained from his father for having won the kite fighting. In fact, Amir feels that his father Baba doesn't appreciate him too much, because he sometimes shows to love Hassan more than him. After this event, the relationship between the two friends is not the same anymore. They stop playing together and often look each other with resentment. Amir, feeling guilty for what happened and letting jealousy and egoism get the best on him, tries to push away Hassan from him and from the house, until Ali decides to leave forever the residence with his son. The war breaks out and the Soviets arrived in Afghanistan, so Amir and his father are forced to go away from Kabul. Amir grows up and graduates. Meanwhile, Baba works in a gas station and in a flea market too, where Amir often goes to help his father and where he meets his future wife, Soraya, the daughter of an Afghan former general. The years pass and Amir, who had become a very successful writer, receives a call from Baba's old friend, Rim, who comforted Amir when he was a child and shared with him the passion for the literature. The man, old and sick, asks Amir to come back in Pakistan to help his old friend Hassan. Amir, wanting to release from the events of the childhood, decides to go. During the meeting with Rim, he discovers that Hassan got married and before being killed with his wife by Taliban had a son, Sorab. In this occasion, Rim also reveals that Sorab is Amir's nephew. In fact, Hassan is actually Amir's brother, born from the relationship between Baba and Ali's wife. So Amir starts to research Sorab with the help of Farid, and they go together to Kabul. Among the devastation of a ghost town, they arrive at the orphanage and look for Sorab, but the owner reveals to them that a Taliban often comes to take some children and that Sorab had the same destiny. Once discovered the identity of the Taliban, Amir and Farid try to contact him, getting closer during an execution in the stadium of the town. Finally, they obtain a meeting with him. In this occasion, Amir realizes that the Taliban is Asef, the boy that several years ago raped Hassan. Asef accepts to leave the child to Amir, only if Amir survives the fight with him. Finally, in the middle of the fight, Amir managed to escape with Sorab, and after telling him about all his past, adopts the boy and convinces him to come back in America. The book had a worldwide success, so to deserve a film adaptation in 2007, directed by Mark Forster. But such as happens in these cases, there are some differences between the film and the book. One of these, for example, regards the representation of the characters. In fact, in the book, Baba is described like a narrow-minded man who dedicates few time to his son. Meanwhile, in the film, Baba seems to be more welcoming with Amir. Moreover, Asef in the book is represented like a tall and blonde boy, whereas in the film he is depicted with black hair. Furthermore, in the book is Amir who teaches Hassan to read, unlike happens in the film. Another relevant difference is the image of the kite. In the film, the director focuses mainly on the kite, opening with the image of a kite and closing with Amir who makes fly the kite with Sorab. In addition, Baba doesn't gift Hassan with a surgery to cure his cleft lip for his birthday, as you can read in the novel, but gives a kite. Besides, in the last part of the film, some significant scenes that appears in the novel and that depict all the desperation of Sorab's childhood have been eliminated. The difficulties for the adoption of Sorab are missing. The scene in which Sorab cuts his wrist because he has to come back in the orphanage to be adopted is not present, as well as the treatments for Amir after the fight with Asaf and those for Sorab after having attempted suicide. Since that the Kite Runner is a story which tells about the difficulties of the Afghan population, I think that the film highlighted very little this aspect, which every one of us should know better. The Kite Runner is a very actual story. It's a story that everyone should read to not forget the atrocity which occurs in those lands that seem so far from us but are not at all. It's the story of a country told with the eyes of a child who becomes a man, who sees the world throughout those atrocity that will mark his life forever. The sentence, "for you 1,000 times over," that Hassan and Amir say, it's not only the symbol of the pure and authentic feeling that is typical of the children, but also reawaken in ourselves the tenderness and the love that brings us to desire a world without these tragedies.